Hi, this is Ed at Quality Vacuum in Grand Haven, Michigan. Today we're doing a comparison between the Shark Rotator Never Loses Suction Bagless Upright Vacuum to the American-made Riccar R20 Ultra Premium Upright Vacuum made here in the United States. What we've got is a airflow meter, so we're going to compare airflow performance, we're going to compare agitation, the type of brush roll that's under both machines, and then lastly we're going to compare disposing of the debris that we've cleaned up. As you can see on our floor, we've got a row of sand on the floor, and it's an equal amount for each. It's 1.5 ounces of sand for each side. We have 1.5 ounces of baking soda, which is very similar to household dust, for both sides, and then an equal amount of simulated pet hair for both vacuums. So after we're done with the airflow, we'll show you the difference in brush rolls, and then we'll clean up the dirt. Starting with the airflow on the Shark Rotator Never Loses Suction vacuum on the performance airflow meter, what we're going to have Ultra Premium Vibrance. This unit here holds about a 5 on the airflow meter. So you can see right out of the box, the Riccar American-made Vibrance R20 Ultra Premium has quite a bit more airflow performance than the Shark Rotator Never Loses Suction Upright. Now with the brush rolls, looking at the underside of the machine, there's two main aspects to cleaning performance of a vacuum. Number one, how much airflow you have. Number two, what kind of brush roll action you have. On this machine here, you've got 2 rows of brushes on the Riccar that spin at a high rate of speed, and it augers everything to the suction point on the side. It's made of metal, very heavy duty, and it's repairable. When you wear out brushes, we can put a whole new set of brushes on the machine. We do not have to put a whole new brush roll in the vacuum. On the Shark Rotator, they have a very good design as far as it augering everything to the center suction point, but it is made of plastic. The plastic brush roll, when you wear out your bristles, you can't put a new set in. Requires a whole new brush roll. Most likely you'll have to get that through Shark. We don't stock, can't get parts for a machine like that. And then number two, made of plastic, it's more susceptible to damage, whether hair gets wrapped around it, things like that, where the metal holds up much better on the Riccar. Now cleaning both spots of dirt up here, we'll compare how easy it is to clean the machine once you've got the dirt in the vacuum. Okay, as you can see, we got the floor cleaned from the dirt that was on there, the 1.5 ounces of sand, the 1.5 ounces of baking soda, and the equal parts of pet hair. Now we're going to test the airflow again to see if we've lost any performance. Starting with the Shark. As you can see, it's still pulling the tube. It has not changed at all. changed it all. However, it is time to change the bin. You can see where the bin has enough stuff in it that you really can't pack much more in the bin. You really need to clean that out before you vacuum further. On the Riccar, remember we were pulling about a 5, 5.5 before we sucked up the debris. You can see we're still pulling a pretty solid 5 after sucking up the debris. So even though we sucked up a lot of debris with the Riccar, even though you're using a bag, it hasn't changed the airflow of the machine. Now, just as something that I'm kind of curious about, this bag that we had in here has had a lot of demo dirt in it from the last 3 weeks that we've got this machine. I have not changed the bag since we got the machine in a couple weeks ago. So this bag is not only sucked up what we had here on the floor, but it also has sucked up all the other demo debris, and you can see it's very, very full. Now what I'm going to do is put this bag in and see how much airflow performance difference there is going from a bag that's got a ton of dirt in it and pet hair material to a brand new bag, and see what kind of performance drop off we have. Basically, going to a new filter bag, instead of pulling a 5, which is what we were getting on the bag that was about 2/3 of the way full, we were pulling about a 5.5. So we're only missing a 0.5 point from a full bag to a bag that's 2/3 of the way full. Really not losing a whole lot of suction or airflow performance with a bag that's getting quite full. Now the other thing I want to show you is the difference in when it's time to change or clean out your vacuum. When you have the Shark vacuum, you have the great job of taking it outside, hopefully you do this outside, and trying to dump all the dirt and hair out of it. So again, we got sand, we got simulated pet hair, we got 1.5 ounces of baking soda in the vacuum. So what you want to do is put it down into the trash can, pull the trigger, and you can see there's quite a bit of dust that's coming out of there. Now typically there's dirt and sand and stuff stuck up in the cup, so you typically have to bounce it to try and get it out, and you can see the dust and mess that's coming out. Also what you want to do is, if you have compressed air, you can see the stuff that's still inside the cylinder. You want to take compressed air and blow that out, or maybe take a dry cloth. Bagless vacuum companies do not recommend getting any moisture in there. It'll breed mold and bacteria. Take a dry cloth and wipe that off inside there, okay? Trying to get it cleaned out. Now conversely, with the Riccar, I already did it, so I kind of got ahead of myself. However, all the bag debris, all the dust, all the contaminant, all the hair, all the sand is inside the bag. Not only did I take it out already and not make a mess, but I literally can put it back on the machine and not create a mess. Not that we want to put dirt back into a vacuum this way, but just to show you, with all that stuff in the vacuum bag, when it's time to dump it, instead of having to go through this mess with a bagless machine, we simply pull the tab down. When we pull the bag out, there's a self-sealing door, it keeps all the stuff in there. So even if you drop it, gets kicked around a little bit, you're not getting dust and dirt thrown all back into your home. You can simply take that, throw it in the trash, no mess, no muss. Now, the other thing I think that's cool about this, we talked about how full this bag is. What I'm going to do is cut it open and literally show you all the stuff that's in there, and how a good bag cleaner will take your dirt and your pet hair and it will compress it in the bag. Look what we got here. This little bit up here is about what we sucked up just a few minutes ago off the floor. It compresses it up nice and tight into the bag. This is literally 3 weeks of demonstration dirt that I've been running through this vacuum since we got the vacuum in 3 weeks ago. You can see all the sand, you can see all the simulated pet hair in there. You know, that's a lot of stuff. That, quite frankly, it's more like about 10 to 15 cylinders of the bagless machine in this bag, and quite frankly, we only went from a 5.5 on the performance meter to a 5 by putting about 10 cylinders of pet hair and dirt from a bagless machine in this vacuum, and quite literally could still use it and still out clean what a shark can do for you. So just as information for you on the vacuums between a good American-made bagged upright vacuum compared to a bagless Shark Rotator. And one last note before we close up the video, you notice on here it says never loses suction. Something I just want you to check, or just want you to be aware of. When this is on the machine and you pull it off, if you look very, very closely to the back wall here and read the sticker, it says important, loss of suction may occur if the filters are not washed every 3 months and rinsed out completely. Now the filters they're referring to is this foam filter here, and then another micro filter after that. That's before the motor. Okay. I don't know about you, but in my book, when a vacuum says never loses suction, never is a long time. It means it never ends. But when you pull the bin off and right behind it in small letters it says important, it may lose suction, they're admitting to you this vacuum will lose suction if you don't clean it all out on a regular basis. So to me it's a little deceptive when you're advertising never loses suction, when the reality is it does. You just have to be aware of that when you're making your purchases. So this is at Quality Vacuum in Grand Haven. If you got any questions, give me a call at 616-844-1400. And our address is 1864 172nd Avenue in Grand Haven, Michigan. Google us at Quality Vacuum Grand Haven, Michigan. Check out our website and the coupons there for any discounts that we may be running at this time. And we hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.